everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are setting up the month of March in my reading journal, and if you're new here, each month I try to use a book as a theme. So for this year I've been alternating between fantasy books and romance books. In February I chose a romance and it was Set on You by Amy Lee. So this month is a fantasy read, and when I was coming up with the idea of this theme, I really knew that this paper here that I've put down was going to be great for the cover page. I didn't have very much of it left, but it really felt like it popped some colour onto this front page of March along with the header. I am using my Cricut for all the headers this month, so my head is going to get in the way. The lighting is not the greatest for me. It's great for you guys, you can see everything that I'm doing, but when that light is hitting the paper I cannot see the dots, so my head will pop in here and there as I'm doing the setups for the header parts. And yeah, I'm really happy with this theme. I'm really happy with the font that I chose here. I will put it across the screen. I got it from 𝓘𝓽𝓮𝓮. What it's called. It's very art deco, goes very well with the theme, and this book is set in the 1920s in Shanghai, and if you're not aware of what it is by just those two hints, it is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I really enjoyed this world. I'm more of a fan of the companion series, Foul Lady Fortune, but I very much so loved Roma and Juliet from this book, and it is a slow burn. It is very heavy in information and just very decadent, and so it's not for everyone, but as a historian I really enjoyed the way that the author encapsulated this world and made it feel like it could have happened that way by using the descent of the time and the introduction of Western influence in Shanghai. It was just really well done. Now you'll see there's a gap on that front page. We do come back and put in the quotes. At this point I hadn't printed them out yet, and I hadn't even chosen what I was going to put there, so I just moved on. This has been very last minute put together, this theme for March, just because I've had a family emergency and I got very behind in setting up for the next month and having time, so everything was done on one day and sort of at the point of doing it rather than planning ahead. But I'm really happy with it, how it's come together. I'm so glad I decided to use the Cricut headers, even though, like I said, my head pops up here and there, and it's very difficult to see them to get them lined up. But they look really effective, and I've got lots of this vinyl left. I managed to get a whole bunch of this gold vinyl on clearance, so I'm sure I'll be using this technique again in the future. It's really handy because the one thing I'm finding with the Blackout journal is I don't have enough pens to fill in the headers, so if I make the headers small then I have to use the same pens that I always use, my Moonlight collection by Sakura, the Gellyrolls, or I have to use my 3mm tipped Acrylographs, which I have used, as you can see, for the gold grid for the monthly view. And I use two other colours as well, but it's just, yeah, I don't have very many options, so it was either print something out or use this vinyl, and I'm so glad that I did. I wish I could have lots of other colours as well. Maybe I will be able to source some very cheaply, because it is a bit of a pricey hobby having a Cricut. That's something I've definitely learned as I get further into using it, but I'm really happy with how this came together. The font is just so pretty and elegant, and I tried to keep this whole theme very minimalist, so I wanted the decadence to show rather than be cluttered, and as I fill it in it will definitely have more information on each page. So if you're new here again, I will point out that each month my pages look roughly the same. So this is the monthly view, and I use the calendar grid for jotting down where I am reading every day. So I will put down the percentage of what I've read that day, and there is a key which you'll see put down later of what colour represents what format that I choose to read in. And I also like to store the books that I buy or get gifted on this page, and I've recently changed it to have the arcs on this page as well, and it's working incredibly well because this is probably one of the pages I look at the most. It reminds me of what I need to read and what I have coming up. I do apologise for the camera going out of focus there. I had no idea I was doing that. I did it a couple of times. I managed to crop out one of them, but that one I just really couldn't get to move out. This page is almost done now. I do end up coming back at the end and adding a quote to it, which I really like, and I will do a close-up of that, so you'll see that earlier than the end. But this page is, I'm really happy with how this page came together. It's got all the information I need on it. It's set up nicely, and I'm really happy with this theme. Very nice, relaxed sort of feel to it, as opposed to last month where it was quite more colourful and pink, because I went with a very Valentine's sort of theme. I'm really looking forward to the month of March for reading. Over February I've had a bit of a struggle, not only just because I've had a family emergency crop up, so that's really eaten into how I've been able to read, but also I felt really overwhelmed with how many things I tried to do, and I actually had to back out of a couple of commitments just because it was just too much for me. And I think that I really need to be focused on my original goals for 2023. Over 2022, I read 208 books, and whilst I'm really impressed that I was able to meet that goal because my Goodreads goal was 200, I definitely want to slow down over 2023. My goal for this year is 150, which is still pretty ambitious. However, I need to remind myself that I don't need to do it all, and I can relax and not feel like I need to read all the time and get into my other hobbies. I've been writing again, which has been fantastic, but I do find myself feeling like I need to do more reading when I don't need to at all. It's just a hobby, it's just something I enjoy. However, I am really enjoying sharing my reading with my friend. We've been doing a lot of buddy reads. We've been reading the entire Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer together. And so it is quite full on when you've got that going almost every single day. We were only supposed to do Cinder, but we got so obsessed with it that we fitted it in around everything else we had planned in the month of February. And being the shortest month, that definitely did put pressure on. So over March, I'm hopeful that I can remind myself that I don't need to do all the things, that I can just enjoy what I'm reading and take my time. But also I'm very excited for some books that I have in preparation for the month. I haven't yet done my prompts for March. I'm about to film that today, so that will be coming very, very soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I can fit in what I have already planned, so arcs that I have due and stuff like that, into the prompts. Hopefully that will be a success. I did that in January and it was very helpful. This page here is what I call the info dump page. It's got all the prompts, the TBR for the month. I shortened it down to 8 prompts, but 7 of them are free. I have the TBR book of the month that I put down at the top, so that's already been picked. That's 𝓤𝓱𝓮𝓮 by Margaret Rogerson. If you haven't watched my video where I picked them out at the start of the year, you can check that out. I'll link it below. And I also have put down the buddy reads. I put groups for the word because I couldn't fit buddy reads across there, and I'm not too unimpressed with that. It just seemed a bit odd at first, and then now I've gotten used to it. I am in essentially a group of reading, so yeah, I'm very excited for what I have planned for buddy reads for March. We're going to finish the Lunar Chronicles, me and my friend. We've got 3 other books that we're going to be reading together, and also I am part of 2 book clubs, so I'll be reading books for that as well. Very excited to hopefully have a good month. February hasn't been bad at all. I've had some really great 5-star reads, and I'll be sharing more about that in the wrap up that is to come. Oh my gosh, in like 2 days. We are now going to be going into March. This is how close I've gotten to filming this at the very last minute. I went ahead and put down the final headers. So I put down the reading log, and I also put down the stats header before my video cropped out. I have like a timer, it goes off every 25 minutes, so I thought I'll quickly put this down. And I actually ended up having to go out to do an appointment in between filming this, so this bit here is the last bit that I did before going to film that video, sorry, to go to that appointment. Sorry, a bit rambly, aren't I? And then I came back after the appointment, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and finished the rest of this off for you all. But the reading log is pretty much the same every time. I've just pushed it all down so it's even this time around, instead of trying to fit a quote down the bottom, and it can host up to 20 books. I haven't read 20 books in a very long time in 1 month, so I don't think I will ever get there over this year. Well, we might see a difference sometime, but for now I don't think I'll ever go back over 20 books in 1 month, which is absolutely fine by me. But I like having the space there set up for everything just in case. I had to print out some new stars for my star stickers, so that video that I promised late last year will be up in the start of March. I've got it all filmed now, and I'm glad that I have a new stock of star stickers to film with for the rest of the year. I think it will get me through the majority of what's left of this year, and I cannot believe we're already moving into March. As you can see, I made a huge error there. I went right over the inky pens, something that I try so desperately not to do, but that was an error that I made because I was tired. We're finally putting in the quotes at the start. I will have the written quotes in the description if you want to read them, but both of them are ones that I really enjoyed, and there were so many that I could pick through, but I was admittedly in a rush when I set this up, so I just picked the first two that I really enjoyed. And yeah, that is the theme set up for March. I really hope you enjoy this. I'm looking forward to using it. I'm very happy that I decided to go with these fun delights. I have a whole list of fantasy books that I've managed to find aesthetics on Pinterest for. That's what I use to make these collages and the theme. So I'm sure I'll use those in the future. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Like I said, I will have some more videos very, very soon since we are at the end of February. And I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. Bye everyone!